quick start and conference play underway here in Miami. Both these teams coming in with, well, you mentioned some juice. That's what they've got. Panthers 7-5, Aggies 8-3. An overtime loss against the preseason favorite, the last result for FIU. Jackson against his former team, appropriately the first shot, and Jabami the offensive board. Second chance, Zadi has the first points.
First thing that Jeremy Ballard told us a couple days ago, they have to rebound the ball better, and FIU has done just a tremendous job on the offensive side of things, creating an opportunity and getting out to the 2-0 lead.
This is a Panthers team that is top 10 in America in offensive rebounds to a man. They are committed on the offensive glass, and it shows in their very first salvo. Aggies entering off the dominant win, 104-33 against Southwest. They've won a couple in a row, have these Aggies of NMSU. Ball remains with the visitors.
And for New Mexico State, they have their guy. Everyone has a guy. It's Jamel Jones for them, Corey. 16 per game. Not super athletic, but the guy knows where to get to his spots. He's a flat shooter.
And he's going to take the very first shot, trying to put it home, not just yet. Panthers lob it up. Olenka hammers it down.
That's the next step for Corey Stevenson's game. This guy's on the Lou Henson watch list for a reason, for his scoring, but he's going to draw a lot of attention. Beautiful pass in transition.
That's ultimately what worked against Liberty on that final play of regulation. All the eyes, the gravity of Corey Stevenson opened the door. Jabami's contest, not enough to alter Jamel Jones. We talk about how similar these two teams are. It's almost uncanny. Each team's leading scorer playing together for CSU Bakersfield last year. Almost no degrees of separation across the board. The Zadi-Jackson reunion match, the similarities there, even down to young post players coming over from Africa and Sir Malanga, as well as Eric Jabami.
Love this pass here from Corey Stevenson, and I call him the front court fortress, which FIU has right now with Eric Jabami and Larry Olenka. I've complimented their soft hands and their ability to use their feet, but they love to rim run.
Stevenson buries his first. It's kind of old school in its way. You know, before Dirk Nowitzki, your 4-man, your 5-man was living right there, right next to the center. You think of a Tim Duncan type, though obviously Duncan revolutionized the position in his own way, but FIU at the 4 and the 5, two guys that want to live right at the rack in Jabami and Olenka.
And New Mexico State does. This is a really cool traditional throwback game. If you like backcourts, if you like rebounds and toughness inside the paint, you're watching the right game.
Gabe Pickens, who learned a lot from Zadi-Jackson last year as the true freshman point guard, played the most freshman minutes of anybody. That's over and back.
It starts with the ball pressure right there. Zadi-Jackson just making things uncomfortable with a combination of Ashton Williamson too. Ashton Williamson not shooting to the percentage that I know he wants offensively, but he's such an athlete. He's able to impact the game on the other side, and we saw it right there.
A lot of praise for Ashton Williamson from that guy, Jeremy Ballard. Winners of 2 of the last 3. Panthers excited for the opportunity to play so many home games in a league in which the hosts have a decided advantage on any given night, or in this case, any given afternoon. Jabami drew the help defense. 5 to go. Olenka, the floater doesn't stay. Olenka had a chance. Eric got it. 3rd time is the charm. How about the up and under?
And there's the front court on full display. How about that 2-man game between Olenka and Jabami? And again, offensive rebound. FIU has 3 players with 30-plus offensive rebounds here in 2000, and now 26.
The shot fake into the pivot foot with the shot clock at 2 is a veteran-minded young Jabami. Stevenson looking for help, finds it in himself, but it kicks off back iron. Vajesh straight away. Anthony Vajesh on the board from downtown.
And he can shoot at his 19-3 of the game, or 19-3 of the season. 52 threes on the year. He's only taken 65 shots, so a high percentage from beyond the arc.
Began his career at Sam Houston alongside his now head coach at New Mexico State, Jason Hooten. Olenka too strong.
You've got to love the looks, though, if you're FIU. Almost everything has been a paint touch.
The foul on the follow. Had a good look at the first, but the second contact on Jamel Jones sends JJ to the line.
And that's what I'm talking about with Jamel Jones. He's fun to watch. We had mentioned, and we actually talked with Coach Hooten. He said that Jamel just has a God-given ability to score the basketball. It's not pretty, he's not really athletic, but he's got great feel, and thinks that he's got to get him going more in the offense and get him some more shots in I think, effective areas for him.
Panthers will bring in that second line. Britt Harris, Ibrahim Olajuwon checking in for FIU.
Both teams rely on their depth. Julian Mackey, Britt Harris, they come in as scorers for FIU. And for New Mexico State, it's Jalen Randall and Elijah Elliott who are microwaves for them.
Coach Hooten's talked a lot about how Randall's embraced that role off the bench. As we talk about new school, old school, that's definitely something we see in the modern NBA. Your sixth man is a guy who absolutely could start and often does finish, with the starting lineup being more for mom and dad. Williamson, pure.
Ashton Williamson needed to see that one go in. Shooting just 24% from three, but off to a good start here this afternoon.
Has seen that efficiency tick up a little bit from downtown as of late. Being a little more selective, properly so. Williamson settling into year 2. Elliott got to the conference logo. Corner pocket, Osborne, hacked. The Cardinal Sin makes an appearance early on in conference play. We go to the first time out. Jacoby Osborne's going to have a chance for a trio from the stripe coming up. Offenses getting going in the early after. So now, as the first of the 3 free throws doesn't go. It was so funny because each coach individually told us, yeah, he's a great 3-level scorer. He's dynamic at mid-range, but we wanted him to take more threes. And he's doing so at a better level than ever. It was almost word for word the exact same description of Ballard on Stevenson and Hooten on Jones.
Yeah, Corey Stevenson had 16 threes last year for CSU. He's up to 30 this year. And for Jones, man, he had an incredible season. How about 625 points last year? Had a game where he scored 45. So 2 talented offensive and defensive players now in Conference USA.
Jones set the points record as well as points per game record for CSUB. The Big West newcomer of the year. The foul on the way in. Eli Elliott picks up the infraction on the former Aggie Jackson.
So no Corey Stevenson out for FIU right now. This is maybe an opportunity. We saw Zodie Jackson take over late against Liberty. But I think right now for the Panthers, their best offense is getting into the paint and offensive rebounding right now, Corey.
A Panther high 34 minutes in that game against Liberty. To your point, almost all of them came late. Ibo was the designated man here. Osborne pushing pace the other way.
Such a different style than what we saw on Sunday for Liberty. New Mexico State are going to take their time offensively. A lot of ISO, a lot of pick and roll situations.
Vijesh, quick catch and release. That's confidence right there.
And that's know your personnel. If you're Ashton Williamson, you can't help that much on Visech, who was able to hit his second 3 of the game.
Jackson blocked on the way in. An impactful swat from Malonga. Jones basically drawing 3. Frees up Elliott. Couldn't convert.
Yeah, good tip right there by Williamson. Tips it to Zowdy.
Ash, coast to coast.
That's the impact right there.
Yep.
Not going to get credit for the rebound, but able to crash the glass, tip it to Zowdy, and then get out in transition and get the easy 2. Ash up to 5 here early on.
As athletic as you'll find at the traditional point guard spot. Rim easily handled by Elliott.
And Elliott's got to be feeling pretty good. He did miss his last game, was sick, but in that conference opener against Sam Houston State, 18 points in 22 minutes.
Both of those were season highs. Olenka, 3-ball. Testing the range. Would have been Larry's third make. That was his 9th attempt. Corey Stevenson back into the game for FIU. Kennedy Brown in for the first time along with Sukaki.
Yeah, really nice move by Elliott there. Getting downhill, we call those straight line drives, and able to finish with that inside hand. So funny, man, growing up playing basketball, you were never taught to go up for a layup on the right side with the left, and now guys are teaching that.
Juice Mims back in along with Jalen Randall. Jabami again, the steals maestro from the front court, but it came right back. Elijah Elliott keeping the head up. Little chaos ball segment. That'll happen here on Basketball Island, the only college basketball game here at the Division I level getting the early start.
Do I dare say we're a standalone game?
Indeed. Happy to have everybody along for the ride. Corey Brooks, Steven Strom, Natalie Calabat-Witten, our entire crew here in South Florida. Ball remains here.
Both coaches are not going to be afraid to make subs. This is sometimes going to mirror a hockey game with the amount of individuals that are running to the bench coming on the court. Kennedy Brown getting some early run too for Jeremy Ballard.
It's a requirement with how this conference gauntlet is going to be. You have to utilize your depth, manage minutes effectively. But the fortune of both teams, they've got a lot of good guys. Well done by Mims, winning it at the point of attack.
He's so long defensively.
Randall left by himself. Panthers caught a break. Sukaki out and running. Finds Brown. KB swatted from behind. There's the whistle, counted in 2.
A little bit of a delayed whistle, but FIU will take it. And this is just a clinic for guys like Thiago Sukaki, right? He uses the body here, braces away from Visech, and then drops it off to Kennedy Brown. Every game he does something, Corey, that it blows my mind that this kid is 18 years old.
Yeah.
And plays like he's 30.
All even opening chapters. And the day in which we'll talk about how there's 0 degrees of separation between these two. That includes the scoreboard at the moment. Vijesh turns the corner. Somehow got to the rim.
And Anthony Visech is having a game so far. Knocked down the 2 threes, and you know what that means. You're going to get defenders on crazy closeouts, able to take his man off the dribble. Tough finish in traffic with the left. Started
every game of his Aggies career. That familiarity with Coach Hooten, getting him ahead of so many newcomers for this Aggie team. A group that lost 94% of its scoring from a year ago. Harris, 3.
And that's a really good sight for Jeremy Ballard. Britt Harris is another guy that has shot down to his percentage from 3. He's a good three-point shooter. He's in a little bit of a slump. He came into this game last 4 for 19. Gets off to the good start from beyond the arc.
Got to 1,000 career points in that game against Liberty. Now sitting at 1,003 is Britt Harris. Kicked ball brings the timeout. Both teams starting to let the caffeine kick in a little bit. Finding their offense. Thiago Sukaki looking the veteran, as always, and Harris capitalizing.
I'd rather see him in a white jersey, but man, Coach Hooten had some great things to say about Zaddy. Great person, high character, and someone that was a huge part of his Aggie program last year.
Peter Filipovic did a lot of huge things. He was out for that game, so Zaddy answered the bell. And when we asked him about it preseason, he was very nonchalant as that goes for Chris Terrell. Said, yeah, our leading guy was out, so I had to step up. Wasn't really any question about it. Brown working his way to the low block where he was fouled.
And it's going to be spurts for Kennedy Brown. But you're starting to feel his impact a little bit. He'll get subbed out, but draws a foul there. On the other side, caught that pass from Sukaki. You don't care if it's a goaltend, as long as you get 2 points, you'll take it.
KB will step aside for the first time. And with the relatively fresh shot clock, Jabami draws 3. Somehow got it back and finished.
I mean, that's just a guts bucket right there from Jabami, who is so patient in the paint. Could have kicked out there, went up for the shot, and then for 2.
This is going to be a fascinating case study in resolve and bounce back for the youngster Jabami. A shot missed at the end of regulation for some young guys will derail you for weeks at a time. So far, so good for Eric Jabami.
One of the most powerful things was Jeremy Ballard going over to Jabami after he missed that shot. As we get a shot clock violation, excellent defense, and we've talked about Jabami defensively, the effort, and then running down the court screaming. But after Jabami missed that layup, and he had played so well, we had mentioned in the open the career high, Jeremy Ballard runs over to him, he gives him a hug. It was powerful.
Yes. Well, asked Coach Ballard about that after the game, and again, very nonchalant, like something that had to be done. Hey, keep it going, game's not over, we're here because of you. And so far, Eric Jabami very much continuing to provide that spark for FIU. Zadi dump, and again, Olenka hammers a second.
Could have called a foul a couple of times. It looked like Terrell was in all of Zadi Jackson's space, but Zadi so strong and stout, able to wiggle off Terrell and find Larry for the dunk.
That second half against the Flames, FIU was really firing on all cylinders, and then Olenka got in serious foul trouble, and the math really distorted. But when he's out there, this FIU team is as good as any in Conference USA. Randall. Olenka altered the shot, long rebound. Will stay with NMSU.
Panthers are doing a much better job offensively here. Zadi bumping, finding Larry Olenka, a free cutter. That's a beautiful job by Olenka, seeing that his man started to commit to Jackson. As soon as you see the back of your defender's head, you cut to the basket, especially at his size. And Jackson found him.
Zadi has one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in Conference USA. We often talk about efficiency scoring. Zadi is about as efficient a passer as you'll find at this level. Stevenson out and running. Corey Stevenson got it. You give him that much time and space with room, he's taking advantage.
And we've mentioned how good he is off 2 feet, able to use that athleticism.
Stevenson, 4 points in under 30 seconds. The microwave is beeping. Corey Stevenson locking in the early afternoon.
This is why he was on the Lou Henson watch list right here. Defensively, doing what he does. Rothstein's got a tweet about him now.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
Oh, it's going to happen for sure. If, John, you're watching the only basketball game going on right now.
You know he's locked in.
Coming along, happy to have you for the ride. Nice pass by Jones on the inside, blocked again by Jabami. The wall of Eric early on in Miami.
We've talked about the fortress of this front court. New Mexico State, this is a pretty good job just moving the ball. Juice Mims is a big-time jumper, but Jabami met him at the rim.
Williamson playing screen and roll with Olenka. Zadi from the ocean. Not this time.
Good offense, though. Zadi Jackson lifts from that corner. Stevenson found him, made the right pass.
Jones fouled by Stevenson. The former teammates come into contact. You wonder if that's at play too, right? Where Corey and Jamel played each other so they know each other. Kind of want to outdo your former teammate, right? That competitive instinct kicks in.
And I know Corey Stevenson started out on Jamel Jones, but we know 1 through 5 FIU can switch. So he's getting multiple looks, but he is getting doubled if you notice on these pick and rolls. There it is right here.
Forces the long ball over to Pickens. Vijesh, who's been perfect today, sees the clear by Jabami. Olenka, lethal from that spot on the floor. Larry Olenka finding the low block catch. Often today above the rim. This time he'll get a couple free throws to send it there on the other side. Very capable of utilizing the full extent of their roster. Stevenson getting it done.
Corey Stevenson, he's oozing with confidence right now. 31st three of the season, shooting 47%. And it's not like he's taken just a couple. He's taken 65 on the year. And if you're NMSU right now, FIU is playing with pace offensively and intensity defensively. Can they match that right now, Corey? I'm sure that's what Jason Hooten is trying to tell his team.
Three in the key, just nowhere to go. A smothering blanket by the Panther front court.
And this is the Aggies' first road conference game. It's a 10 a.m. start. And the last time they played a conference game was December 21st against Sam Houston. Remember, they played Southwest, a non-conf, a non-D1. So they're getting punched in the mouth right now.
Ags also only played one true road game in the pre-conference slate. Jabami stuffing the stat sheet. So it's a different element, especially in this matchup, right? It's as far as you can go in Conference USA. Over 2,000 miles separate these two schools.
And FIU's doing it by just out-toughing them and physicaling them.
That's a few steals already for Jabami. Stevenson on fire. Second forced timeout by Jason Hooten from Corey Stevenson. It's a takeover.
What are we going to do? Are we going to fight? This is the type of response and adversity you like to see with your team on the road.
16 unanswered over 4 minutes. Jones to end the run. No. Elliott buying his team some time. Bye-bye. Olenka sends it to the stands.
These big men are just everywhere. I mean, they're just flying around. Jabami, Olenka. They are so long and athletic. They're doing a little bit of everything, protecting the paint and then closing out the shooters.
The last two D1 games, both against very good teams, Liberty and LIU. FIU got off to a bit of a slow start in the first half. Needed a big second half rally in each, as that goes for Julius Mims. That has not happened today.
Right there, Mims just finds open space. He's good at that pocket.
Wow, what more needs to be said? Corey Stevenson, 13 on the day, and powering through the entire Aggie defense to do it.
I mean, this crowd, their eyes are wide right now. Corey Stevenson is someone that they had dreamed about at FIU. Look at this again, Jabami, just constant ball pressure. Nothing is easy, the pickup point. I mean, they look flustered right now.
That was the best answer, honestly. Vizest from NBA range. Largest lead of the day. Panthers rolling in a big way. Lost Jabami. You can't do that. I don't know how you misplace him, but he was by himself.
What a pass from Ash Williamson. That's the sophomore patience and development that you love to see. Little hesitation in finding Jabami for that dunk.
Jones drew the double, frees up Mims, who capitalizes. That must be the answer. Use the gravity of your leading scorer.
And the Aggies can exhale just for a second. That's a big three. They needed it.
Jackson draws the bump, the 5th against NMSU. New Mexico State.
This dunk by Corey Stevenson. I mean, he looked like he was trying to bring the rim down. He almost did. It was shaken, and then Ash Williamson. Man, when you make a pass like that, no look, he looks at the bench and spins a little bit. You talk about momentum plays. FIU has had multiple, and that's how they've gotten out to this 13-point lead.
Great read by Terrell. Panthers send numbers back. Randall's tray goes. The Aggies developing their retort.
Yeah, just an aloof pass from FIU there, and the Aggies make them pay on the other end. And just like that, I don't care what the lead is, nothing is safe in the game of basketball.
6 points in 20 seconds for NMSU. Williamson steps through. Couldn't quite convert. Final few minutes of what has been a blue and gold half, but the Aggies a chance to answer. Pickens will do just that.
How about that, an 8-0 run for the Aggies. If they can go into halftime trailing by single digits, they're going to be hooting and hollering.
This lead was 16 just about a minute and a half ago. Conference USA basketball in a nutshell. Williamson hacked. That's the last one the Aggies had to give. The nature of the game for this FIU team, kind of the opposite of what it's been. The scoring is really the given. It's when the defense is able to match that intensity. The blue and gold are at their best.
And if you're Jason Hooten, you love the response. You got 8-0 run. The Aggies only average 7 threes per game. They've got 6 in the first half.
Stevenson, that tough mid-range. And a big board by A.J. Ekwe.
And this is such a big segment for both teams. If you're FIU, you have played a phenomenal first half. You've turned it over just 3 times. You've got 22 points in the paint to New Mexico 6. They've got to get to this half with a double-digit lead. And if you're New Mexico, you're trying to weather the storm and get into halftime with a single-digit deficit.
Pickens to the rack. Just like Zodi did last year. The NMSU point guard has a certain style, whether it's Jackson or Pickens.
And you know what this is too, Corey? It's defense turning into offense for New Mexico. They've gotten a lot better from an intensity standpoint. I was questioning, are they going to match FIU's passion right now? And they have. And you're starting to see the momentum switch. But Zodi Jackson draws a foul here, and just having a veteran point guard right now, draw the foul, gets the free throw, and slow this game down a little bit. Knock down a couple of free throws.
One of the best free throw shooters in this league gets the opportunity to shoot 1-and-1.
I know the scoring hasn't maybe been where Zodi wants it to be either, but you know, 13 assists last 3 games, 41 assists to 12 turnovers.
Yeah.
You can't ask for more.
Gets them both. Got challenged a little bit from the line against LU, which means he's due in a big way. Terrell got Williamson in the air right along the sideline. Gave him the leverage, he takes advantage.
Yeah, you're right, Corey. It got a little bit fidgety, got off balance there. I love Coach Ballard's team trapping these pick and rolls, and you saw Williamson try to funnel him back into the paint, because why not? You got the 2 trees in there.
Yeah.
Wish I could play defense with this front court.
The longer your opponent's in the forest, the better. Egway's going to head down there, and he's got plenty of height himself. Terrell. Plenty of height for NMSU. Jacoby Osborne.
I think 3 Aggies probably could have came up with that offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Looks like FIU kind of forgot to box out.
Jackson right back to the line. On the one end, you've got Jacoby Osborne, who's playing his best basketball at the rack, a career-high 11 rebounds in the last game for the Aggies. On the other end, you've got Zodi Jackson getting to the rim more and more here this last segment.
And on this play, again, just there wasn't anyone checking Osborne or 3 other Aggies out, and Osborne goes up with 2 hands and slams it down. Feels like Zodi Jackson, when it gets to the under 4 immediate timeout, he goes, okay, what do I need to do here to help out my team offensively? as he knocks down the first free throw. And I feel like right now he's sensing there's some momentum being shifted. Let me get the ball here. We're in the bonus. Let's make New Mexico State defend for close to 30 seconds and not bail them out.
The under 4 in either half. He's just got that knack for understanding the need of the moment. It's been impressive to watch. Jabami battling underneath, and he'll pick up the foul. That was FIU's last to give. Also the second on Jabami. Always have to keep an eye on the foul number for the bigs. Accordingly, Kennedy Brown will give Eric a minute and 48 of rest before halftime.
Right on cue. You don't want to pick up any cheap ones here, Corey. You know this next 20 in that second half is going to be a dogfight.
Randall finding Vajesh. Great ball movement by the Ags. But Olenka makes it one and done.
You see the transition defense for the Aggies. It's day and night better.
Right to the rack. Zodi finding Corey. Time, space. Caught the corner of the rim. Olenka, second chance. And one, Larry.
I mean, the point of how this was just an incredible rebound. It's hard to put into words. Larry Olenka just takes off here off this Corey Stevenson miss. Takes one dribble, takes the contact, and I love that his shoulders were squared to the hoop there, so you're able to absorb that contact. In this final 2 minutes, Panthers really stepping up.
Olenka cleans it up. When you flip on the Samford film from last year, the above the rim mentality and ability is certainly what shows up at a block in basically every game. You're doing it that consistently. You've got the verticality to answer.
And Coach Ballard always says this isn't Samford, and that's no disrespect to them. FIU needs Olenka. It's not like they say, okay, 2 minute spurt, go get some buckets or go get some rebounds. They need them on the floor.
Vajesh picked up Brown. Numbers advantage. Ekwe takes advantage.
Yeah, Ekwe just parked his behind deep inside the paint. Easy flip for two.
Williamson. It was a good look. Vajesh saved it. Shot and game are basically in line. Aggies can hold for the final. They'll do just that.
And to think that New Mexico State did this with their best player, Jamel Jones, with just 4 points.
Yeah. Vajesh anchored things. He's got 8 points. Good for the Aggie high. Vajesh trying to keep the good going. He'll do it. A double-digit first half for Anthony Vajesh. His career high is 16. He's got over half of that in just a half of basketball. Jamel Jones had the first chance. It was defended brilliantly. Williamson in front, hesitates a moment and scores for two.
And I think Jamel Jones may have turned his ankle a little bit. He just fell and turned it over. And Ash Williamson gets on the board.
Took it away again. Ash got the front piece. Back, Olenka lost it on the way up, but it goes anyway. A little hometown roll for Larry.
Well, a nightmare start for the Aggies coming out in this second half. Back-to-back turnovers, and FIU making them pay and getting a 9-point lead to start this second half.
Panthers are the best at steals in CUSA. Zodi has another. Back-to-back. This time it comes from the free throw line. Boy, Olenka trying to set a new career high in whams, and that's already a pretty high number.
It's defense, you know, sparking offense here on one. And here's Jamel Jones. You can see that left ankle turn in Hopefully he's okay. Ash Williamson able to go the other way and finish for 2. And then an unselfish play from Ash again on that second possession. And again, I've said this before, it doesn't matter how it looks. I know Olinka wanted to be on SportsCenter, but he'll take the 2 and knocks down this first basket. How about this? About 1:03 in this second half. Jason Hooten is sensing we need to match this intensity. If you're not ready to play, I'm taking you out.
FIU has run a full-on blitz out of halftime the last couple games against D1 competition. It is the reason they won against LIU, and it's the reason they had a real chance to win against Liberty.
And Jamel Jones is going to get checked out by the medicals, as we're going to get another turnover.
That kind of directly leads to the substitutions, and sure enough, it will force another one as Chris Terrell comes in. You're turning the ball over, you got to change something up, because that's a surefire way to hand the game.
I mean, this is hard to fathom right now. They've had 4 possessions. They have 4 turnovers, and their best player just headed to the locker room to get his ankle evaluated.
And a foul underneath. Stevenson battling for position. And FIU gets a baseline out of bounds. Vijesh picks up the whistle. His 3rd, so that's also something to keep an eye on.
And Jason Hooten, will he make another sub? But here's this other look at Jamel Jones. That left ankle is going to go inward. And hopefully he's able to just get taped back up and get back out there. Aggies down 10, but they need some sort of a response in the early going.
Panthers had the violation on the inbound, though, so New Mexico State catches a break. Still 10-point lead for the home team. Terrell lost it along the baseline himself. Boy, when the turnover bug bites, it comes in bunches.
I'm surprised. I would think Jason Hooten could take a timeout next time the Aggies get possession, just to get organized. They just look dysfunctional coming out in this second half.
He's talking to his assistant coaches right now, trying to find the answer. A foul on Mims to compound the issue. You got to give Jeremy Ballard and his staff a lot of credit on the other end. That's now 3 straight games. Wherever and whatever they said at the locker room has made a humongous difference. Bami shoots twice.
This was an outstanding out-of-bounds under drew up from Jeremy Ballard. You're going to get a box set, and Dabami is going to slip and dive right to the basket. Man, some of these coaches, they're magicians with that whiteboard.
The corollary to that is it speaks to how highly this coaching staff views Eric Dabami. You don't usually see this many sets drawn up for a true freshman, but this guy has earned every single bit of it.
Just such a good feel, able to screen that corner man, and then as soon as he senses his primary defender, just lean over to help in that corner. That's a telltale sign to dive right to the basket and credit the inbounder to deliver the basket. And now Dabami has a chance at, already made 1, 2 at the line.
Ekway back in, by the way, looking to supplement the guys slowing down Eric Dabami. Another offensive putback. How about 2 for the guy leading the conference, and a couple free throws to boot. FIU thinks that's a goaltend on top of it all.
It's like Corey Stevenson is on a pogo stick again. His fast twitch muscles, for him to land like that and bounce right back in the air and have his head to the rim. I know FIU wanted a goaltending call, but I don't think they're going to get it.
Trusting in Corey Stevenson to go and make the 2 free throws.
After such a smooth flowing first half, it's like weird that this second half has started this way.
Olenka feeding Dabami. No whistle to be had, remains with FIU. One of the best offensive rebounding teams in America is flexing that muscle.
Panthers have 3 players with 30-plus offensive rebounds. And New Mexico State has done an excellent job this year at limiting second chance buckets. But they have not seen a front court like FIU's this year.
Or a team overall. I mean, Corey could play in the front court, but whoo, big block by Ekwe. These guys to a man committed to the offensive glass. New Mexico State, though, withstands the flurry.
That was an outstanding block by Ekwe.
They go high-low to him. AG's got it. Kick Randall. Perimeter defense from the young freshman is well done. They help off Vijesh. He's got some room. Ekwe goes up, sends it to Stevenson.
Just excellent defense in the half court.
You'd probably like to find the hot hand there. Olenka hit the accelerator and gets to the line.
Everything defensively for FIU is meant to speed up New Mexico State. Right there in the post. He's seeing white jerseys go everywhere. He's indecisive on what to do. You think there's an opening for a second, and the scrambling from the Panthers just forces you into an uncomfortable shot.
Scott Carr watching on, excited by what he's seen so far. Something he talked about was activating the NIL game in the men's basketball space, and how he and the administration here made a point of helping out Coach Ballard bring talent to South Florida. And that talent is very much showing itself in game number 2 of Conference USA play.
We were talking about this before the game in these game notes, which all these SIDs do a phenomenal job. But we were talking about, you know, New Mexico State lost 94% of their scoring, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
But we're in 2026 with the transfer portal. At what point, like, what is a large percentage and what is a normal one?
I think around 50 to 60%, I think, is probably traditional. Both these teams seeing a lot of new faces. Or in the case of Zadi, a familiar one to one end, new for the other.
And speaking of a new face, still no Jamel Jones, the Aggies' leading scorer.
How about Olenka keeping his feet moving the entire time? Little mid-range defense from the Panther big. Stevenson takes baseline. Jackson in traffic to the strike. That is already bonus ball for FIU.
And this is a lot of what we saw in the first half, Corey, from FIU's offense. It's intentional. They're moving. The ball's not sticking. They're getting 2 feet in the paint. And this is the exact result.
7 fouls in 3.5 minutes. And this is where basketball stats can lie to you a little bit. FIU doesn't have a make from the field in 3 minutes. And ordinarily, surface level, you think, oh, wow, that's really bad. It's not at all. They're just routinely getting the free throw line. And converting.
And now 11 of 15, like you said. Very much so converting. And they're going to probably take 35 plus here with 16 minutes left. And they're already in the bonus.
Vijesh contested up top, doesn't matter one bit. The net barely moves. Vijesh nearly a career high with 16 to go.
Man, he's got such a silky smooth. That's now a season high for him, 4 trays.
Vijesh now feeding baseline. Elliott, good shot fake. Williamson continuing to contest. Vijesh doesn't get the kind roll and an eyeball clear.
That was a heat check from Visech.
Lot of contact. Mutual at the point of attack, and it remains here. And FIU looks to pour some gasoline on it. Drew Mackey will play for the first time here today with his guys up 11. What a luxury for the Panthers to bring in their bona fide 6th man in the second half. Brett Harris continues that bench scoring tear.
He only has 2 threes, but they've been timely. This offense opens up when Brett Harris knocks down threes.
Jeremy Ballard and FIU are looking for a knockout punch with 15 to go in this ball game.
And still no Jamel Jones, as Thiago Sukaki is going to get called for a reach-in. So it looks like the Aggies might have to try to come back without their leading scorer at about 16 per game.
One of the top scorers and most efficient scorers in Conference USA. Done for the moment. Randall working inside. Met at the point. A good contest by Ibo, but Randall shoots twice.
Yeah, this is an excellent play call. They're going to empty out the strong side and drop this thing off to Randall, who basically says, I'm going to meet you at the rim, as we get another look at Britt Harris's second tray of the game. I love his rotation on the ball. When he's squared up and he gets just a split second, he's got beautiful arc on the ball. A springy shooter.
Yeah. Got a really nice shot, has shown it from the word go here with FIU. Now on the other end, it's time for a case study in coaching. When you're missing a guy like Jones, how do you answer? That look from Jay Randall is something they run for Jones a lot. That ISO clear out, let's go win a one-on-one matchup. Randall did exactly that. Olenka flashing the handle. Harris, time, space, and 3. Point forward into Britt Harris from downtown.
And Corey, that was NBA range right there. He was significantly behind that three-point line, and he's feeling it.
Randall can't answer. Mackey fighting for the rebound, has some help.
And look for Harris here. I would run something if I'm Coach Ballard.
Mackey, first shot. Vijesh in amidst the trees secures the rebound and the whistle on Olenka. Fortunately for FIU, it's just his first.
This is a crazy play, a scramble play, as Olenka puts it on the deck and is just going to find Britt Harris. That's near the Lime sponsorship. He hit that from the lemon.
I'm going to steal that at some point. A great pass by Olenka. He steps aside briefly. 15 points, right near the largest lead that FIU has had today. Terrell squaring up, tough take.
I've been impressed with Terrell right there, using his size to get to the middle of the floor, then playing off two. Able to rise over Sukaki.
It was a late addition to this NMSU roster, but one that Coach Hooten and his staff very much felt they needed. A speed and quickness they didn't have last year. Sukaki, ball fake. Not this time. Vijesh, heat check. Almost a second chance earned by Mims.
Want to see some action here for Britt Harris.
Mackey still settling in after not playing in the first half.
Minutes have been up and down for Mackey, trying to find some rhythm.
Oh, Vijesh is by himself. Panthers caught a break. Stevenson, well contested, doesn't matter.
Man, when he takes a look at the ball, it's almost like he tries to find the seams, and because his release point is so high, it's almost impossible to block. Doesn't have an efficient release, but who cares when you're shooting 49% from three?
Efficient on the stat sheet. That's what matters. Ibo poked that one in. The bad beat for the Panthers. The good news for them is they're still up 14.
That's an own basket.
On the way up, remains here.
Ash Williamson checks into this game. He was on his behind. As soon as the buzzer, look at his intensity. Ballard runs over and helps him up as we get another look at this three-pointer in the corner for Corey Stevenson. 3 for 4, 6 for 10 from the field. This guy's going to be a 50, 40, 90 guy if he can continue to shoot well from the free throw line too.
Mackey grinding it out right now for FIU. He steps aside. Williamson, kaboom!
I made this comment before about Ash Williamson. When his hands are ready and he's shot ready, it's such a different form and confidence.
I think his three-point percentage in league play is going to be wildly different than it was in the pre-conference slate. Put in the work in the offseason, is now finding out how to leverage that work. Nearly a steal. Other way, Randall. Good ups by Mims. He does his thing. Gets the inside leverage. 11:32 to go. The largest lead is the one that FIU currently has. Tiago Tukaki and company looking for CUSA win number 1. When the football team went there, it was cold and rainy. It's quite possibly going to be the same for the FIU men's basketball team. On the other end for the Aggies, they are going to make their initial entry to the Springfield, Missouri category before they finally get to open up in Las Cruces. And starting with that Western Kentucky game, the Aggies play 5 of 7 at home. So some opportunities to force the long travel day on their opposition.
And for FIU after the game on Sunday, 5 of 7 on the road. Like I said, they've been in Miami for quite some time.
Free throw line jumper goes for Chris Terrell, coming off a career high day. That momentum is carrying over.
An identical shot from a couple of possessions ago where he's just going to get into the paint, turn, and get about 5 feet away from the cup and shoot that little bunny jumper.
Tukaki drew him in and was fouled. Again, fouls are shots for FIU every time right now. So Tiago gets to shoot 1 and 1, and what will be the final 1 and 1 with 10:58 to go.
Tiago Tukaki is a perfect bonus man, and when I say that, I mean you want the opponent to defend for 30 seconds and to try to draw fouls, and Tiago is constantly just fearless. I mean, the guy will take the ball, usually oversized or undersized rather, and just penetrate. And when you're in his size and you do get knocked down, I think the referee has a propensity to probably give you the call. I know Randall wasn't happy as he tried to dig at the ball on that penetration.
Tiago hits them both. For a Jeremy Ballard team where a paint touch every single possession is a borderline requirement, a guy like Tiago Tukaki provides that and more. Off the side of the backboard. Unsettled right now is NMSU. And again, part of that is you're missing a 30-minute per game guy. Part of it is it's a long road trip. Part of it is it's still very early in the year. And the remainder is FIU forcing the issue in every sense. Williamson, wing tray. Jabami somehow got inside. Eric on the shot fake. How about the freshman?
He just plays like he's having fun, doesn't he? It's got to be contagious. Another offensive rebound. Eric Jabami on the year with 31 coming into this one. Able to spin off and, again, use that patience to finish strong and opportunity at three-point play.
I think it's time to recategorize this season for Eric Jabami. One of the front runners for CUSA Freshman of the Year. 21 against Liberty in the very first game. Already in double digits here on an efficient 5 of 8. And he comes up with the basketball right there. That's how we're going to have to start to talk about him now. Jabami on the nice leave. Still has it. amidst three, he gets it to go. There is no stopping Eric Jabami. He gets the great contest, doesn't matter. Jacoby Osborne stems the tide. Williamson gasses up and blows by.
He's just lightning quick right there. Again, when he uses that hesitate, he's got to implement that into his game more, because as soon as he gets his defender just to hesitate for a second, he's able to use that blazing speed to the cup.
Jabami trying to use his feet. Dad's a pro soccer player, so maybe comes by trade, but still disrupts the play as both teams make a bunch of subs.
And he might give him some flack to Bombi after he didn't finish that should have been assist. But there's that hesitation from Ashton Williamson when he gets a big on him going downhill. Good luck.
50% on the day for Ash, closing in on his career high. Had 19 against Fort Lauderdale, factoring in caliber of competition. This is the best game of the season for the young Ash Williamson.
That's a great sign. When the competition levels up, so does he.
Jacoby had Williamson in phase the whole way, and the shot's denied. Williamson, dish, Stevenson, patient. Jabami, I really thought he was going to heat check that too. Inside, draws contact, two more.
Well, I take it three when you can just get a point-blank look at the rim from a foot away. I just love this offense right now for FIU. Everything has purpose behind it. There's pace in the half-court offense, meaning there's screening, there's motion. Everyone is working in synergy with each other.
You don't love to see that, but it has been that kind of day where there's been a lot of bodies underneath the basket. Jabami more than resilient, though. Heads to the free throw line.
I mean, look, when you're in the ring underneath, you're eventually going to get popped a couple of times.
Buries the first.
And the big thing for Jabami, as he's going to take a shot here, I don't know if he got hit on that foul on the lip. He may have. But it's going to be about availability. It's going to be about staying out of trouble as far as the personal fouls are concerned, Corey, but also in that Liberty game, he was cramping up.
Eric hits both free throws that time. Another welcome sight for the young freshman. Tied up there. Malonga had position, and Jabami will have his fourth foul. So a freshman play on the other end of it for a guy who there are precious few of.
And that will prompt Kennedy Brown in the game. But Eric Jabami will get a high five from hopefully everyone on that bench.
Taps his chest, says, my bad, knew it right away. Still a monster game for Jabami. 15 on 60% and a double-double as well. Elliott, step back. The tough midi goes anyway.
Nice shot fake right there from Elliott. That was still a difficult jumper because Ash got back in the fight.
Double dribble. That's about the least efficient shot in basketball right there that goes for NMSU. That's not to say it doesn't have a place, though. It's got to be right time, right place, right guy, right place, and it was. Aggies need to string together some offensive possessions with a 22-point margin up on the board for FIU. Elliott's runner does not cooperate. Olenka drawing him in. Aim to stuff the stat sheet. Somehow, some way, Corey Stevenson does the seemingly impossible. I'll tell you what, Natalie, I think Eric Jabami could hear you on the FIU bench, because right as you mentioned how good a job Tiago was doing, Eric grabbed his former prep teammate in a headlock, gave him a noogie, and said, good job.
I know it's an old cliche that teams always say about, being happy for each other's success, but you feel that on this Panther team this year.
Pickens, good dish. Vijesh for a new career high. Everything but the bottom. Williamson, good find. Patience for FIU, no reason to rush things. Later on in the shot clock, maybe Larry goes back down. Instead, the off-ball whistle comes against the Panthers. It's on Olenka, just his second, though.
Yeah, he kind of got caught in between either giving him a DHO, a dribble handoff, or flipping the ball into a screen. And he got called for the offensive foul.
And now Kennedy Brown in the sauce.
Part of Jason Hooten's offense is having his big men start at that elbow area. You see some horn sets with that, a lot of dribble handoffs from the big into screens, and FIU trying to deny that pass, trying to not make it easy, that entry into that elbow.
Sir Malanga goes to the line for 1-1. Couldn't quite get the first. Both these young centers, a soccer background. Eric's dad was a pro soccer player, and Sir Malanga was a soccer player until about 5 years ago, when a basketball coach saw a 6'8" guy walking down the street and said, "My friend, I need you on the hardwood." Zaudy, tough shot.
Nice job. Step back from Zaudy Jackson, gathers himself, and able to register his 8th point of the game.
Elliott, clean. That's the other element at play here for this Aggies team with so many newcomers, and even a guy like Sir Malanga played behind an all-conference center at ECU, so even though he's a junior, that's disgusting from Corey Stevenson. He hasn't played as much basketball. Ibo is 26, but hasn't played as much basketball. Eric Jabami's just a freshman. So both these teams, especially the big guys, are going to get better as the year goes on.
Absolutely, and it's a good point too. Like New Mexico State right now without Jamel Jones are getting a look at like, hey, can this guy be a #2 scorer? As Jackson misses that 3.
Vijesh hit the spin, but a whistle on Zaudy.
And he's been a bright spot. Vijesh has been, I think, awesome for the Aggies today. We know his ability to shoot the ball, but he's also able to drive as well, as we see Zaudy Jackson step back with that left, able to create that space. And Corey Stevenson, you said it was disgusting. Yeah, I tend to agree, just able to absorb that contact. It's like a fly getting in front of a freight train.
Yep. Vijesh will shoot his second. A case study in maintaining relationships. Vijesh at Sam Houston, even after Jason Hooten comes to Las Cruces, then heads up to Canada, plays 11 games for McMaster, said he was miserable up there. And so he actually calls Jason Hooten and says, hey, is there any room for me for this Aggies team? Boy, there's a lot of room for him in this game. He's been the offensive anchor today. In the transfer portal era, we're seeing those reunions more than ever. Usually it's the coach calling the player. Inside, stays for Sir Malanga. A confident try.
Yeah, right now, if you're FIU, you want to stay solid. Make sure you're getting these one-and-done possessions. You can use a lot of clock. Time and score.
Elliott, good contest, does not matter. Elijah Elliott from downtown.
Going to get our first look, too, at Jason Hooten's full-court press.
And Mackey couldn't get it across the timeline.
Yeah, I think Julian Mackey just lost track of time there. You want to utilize ball fakes and get the ball in the middle on those press. You usually don't want to go north-south.
The foul before the inbound. Oh no, just to check on the shot clock. So that's reset. Try it again. Mackey clearly grinding out there. The good news for FIU is they've got plenty of margin for error at the moment. Pickens testing range with the right answer.
It's like every time you think New Mexico State is out of this game, they start making threes.
Knocked away, 2-on-1. Osborne, coast to coast. Jacoby Osborne forces a Jeremy Ballard timeout. In Conference USA, runaway games are rare. It often comes down to the final minutes. The Aggies want to do exactly that. The Panthers look for the knockout punt. As we take a look at our Bell 4 game summary, Eric Jabami, his scoring is the entire difference in this game right now. Jamel Jones unable to go for the most part in half number 2. And the possession Armageddon game plan of FIU being executed to a T. Stevenson lobs it up, and Olenka takes advantage.
And that's the downside to the full court press. As soon as you get that ball to the opposite wing, usually there's someone in that dunker spot. Corey Stevenson finds him on the lob, and a much needed, just loosen up the collar. 2 points for FIU.
Bujesh. Not there, and it heads the other way. Corey Stevenson influences the game in so many ways. And right now, even as he's having a terrific scoring day, 21 points, he's working his assist game as well. And Larry Olenka has lived above the rim, really for his entire career. But in particular today, FIU is rolling. A couple of steadying moments and has responded thoroughly and in kind at every juncture in half number 2.
Yeah, great execution there for the Panthers. I know it's 17 points. I know people might be rolling their eyes as I say this, but you want to execute and not turn the ball over in those situations.
Olenka had a chance at it. It heads the other way.
Yeah, at least you'll use 24 seconds of the shot clock before the turnover.
Right. Time very much the ally of the Panthers.
Gotta love the balance attack tonight, Corey. Corey Stevenson, 21. Ashton Williamson, 14. Larry Olenka, 12. Eric Tabame, 15. You had spurts from Britt Harris, who knocked down 3 threes.
Vajesh. In so many ways, this is an exactly like they drew it up game for FIU and their coaching staff. Defense overwhelming, offensive rebounds setting the table, and a balanced and even score sheet like you mentioned.
Yeah, it's a program win today. I mean, everything that you preached from Jeremy Ballard, defense, intensity, rebounding, it was on full display today. And, you know, when you have a game like you had against Liberty, when you're up 8, and you do end up losing as Ashton Williamson floats it up and in for 2, you sometimes wonder about your team's emotional response, you know, a couple of days later.
The response has been resounding from FIU. Williamson's contest alters the shot. Second chance, though, belongs to Jacoby Osborne. Jackson, as good a press breaker as you'll find, and the Panthers say thank you very much. Olenka's putting on a dunk contest. Williamson reaches in. Mims returns along with Terrell for NMSU. Zodie Jackson mixing it up with his former team.
Beautiful lob from Zodie Jackson. I'm a supporter of the hockey assist. I thought Ash Williamson able to go diagonal with that pass, created and opened up everything else. I digress. We might get a review here for some extracurricular activities, and we've gotten some bad breaks with this. We've had a couple of games, it feels like this has happened.
We'll stay clean. It was just some words exchanged between the two.
This is the 10th matchup between these two teams, and it's been dominated by the Aggies. 8-1. That will change, though, today.
An FIU program that this year is looking to undo a lot of recent historical trends. They've got a massive opportunity to do it. Quite possibly the best team of the Jeremy Ballard era. Showcasing their talent. Taking the preseason near unanimous favorite down to the wire, including overtime, and a commanding win against an 8-3 team.
This almost looked like a take foul from Gabe Pickens. As soon as Dabami got the ball, decided to give him a little friendly hug.
And Dabami gets to go right back to the line. Going to be averaging pretty close to a double-double once all the numbers go in on this. Cleans up the second. Corner pocket tray doesn't sit. Corey Stevenson, another rebound. A 21-7 day in over 30 minutes played for Corey Stevenson.
And you mentioned it too, the 3 assists. That's going to be something to watch out for the rest of the year.
Zadi from the ocean. And another offensive rebound for FIU. Out and running, 2 for the road, +1 for Elijah Elliott. Want to remind you, the next broadcast coming up here on ESPN Plus, a doubleheader. This FIU men's team will take on UTEP, and a look at the FIU women's head coach, Jessica Burks-Wiley, her team taking on a Missouri State squad, entering Conference USA play for the first time in a very intriguing position. One of the dominant forces in the Missouri Valley Conference will make the trip to the 305 to take on Coach Burks and the Panthers. An old-fashioned basketball doubleheader coming your way on Sunday afternoon. Zadi Jackson, the solo press breaker. And Williamson can just hold. FIU responds to adversity. Even independent of that. Up and in from Elijah Elliott. That's why you give yourself a margin for error. The Panthers bounce back and answer a narrow defeat at the hands of the best team in Conference USA with